Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to dive into the history of PCOS. As someone who has been diagnosed with PCOS, I know it can feel isolating. And so I think it's good to learn more about its origins and evolution, and this can be an empowering journey for all of us. PCOS impacts millions of women worldwide, and it often goes underdiagnosed and misunderstood. So it's good to trace its path through ancient history to the present day, because this will help us better understand your own PCOS story. So we're going to explore the roots of this complex disorder from cave women to millennials. It's a wild ride. I can't wait to share the latest research on the genetic and environmental factors that may trigger PCOS. So here's the thing, ladies. Knowledge is power, and I hope learning the backstory of this prevalent but perplexing condition will inspire all of my PCOS sisters to advocate for better care. So let's get started on the background of PCOS. PCOS has likely been around for centuries and impacts up to 13% of women worldwide. Records dating back to ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome describe symptoms like irregular menstruation, excess body hair, and infertility that sound suspiciously like PCOS. Some scientists believe PCOS offered a biological advantage for our cave woman ancestors, because PCOS women typically have more muscle mass, and having increased muscle mass during times of scarcity may give these women a biological advantage. So today we know that PCOS runs in families. There is a genetic link in PCOS. Sisters and mothers of PCOS patients often have higher androgen levels and are more prone to insulin resistance and diabetes. Daughters of women with PCOS are 5 times more likely to develop the condition themselves. Scientists have also found that prenatal androgen exposure may have long-term effects on egg development and fertility. Now, I want to talk about PCOS through the lifespan, because if you have PCOS, or if you know women with PCOS, you know that it can be a lifelong struggle. In adolescence, teens with PCOS have symptoms such as acne, excess hair, weight gain, and mood changes. As the woman gets older and is ready to conceive, infertility and pregnancy complications arise. During menopause and beyond, women with PCOS have higher risks of diabetes, heart disease, and endometrial cancer. A 2019 survey found nearly half of PCOS women see multiple doctors for years before receiving a diagnosis, and they struggle with unaddressed symptoms and a lack of information. So even PCOS has likely been around for ages. It remains underdiagnosed and misunderstood. But by learning from history and from learning from each other, we can work together to change that. So let's look at PCOS in the ancient hunter-gatherer times. Back in those Paleolithic hunter-gatherer era, did cave women have PCOS too? Well, if we look at these ancient medical records, there are descriptions of absent or irregular menstrual cycles, infertility, excess body hair, and weight gain around the midsection. While these sound awfully familiar to us modern women today with PCOS, while during hunter-gatherer times, life was tough and food was scarce. What's interesting in that women with PCOS may have had a survival advantage. Women with PCOS tend to have more muscle mass, slower metabolisms, and they need less food. So in those ancient hunter-gatherer times, with every calorie counted, this could mean the difference between life and death. So women with PCOS also often struggle with infertility, or they have fewer children. Back in the Paleolithic era, having fewer babies increased the odds of survival for both mother and child. So the PCOS phenotype may have actually been given a reproductive advantage too. So today, we know there's this genetic link to PCOS because it tends to run in families and it's linked to certain gene variants. My own diagnosis was at age 16, and this showed me that I inherited this condition from my mother and grandmother. The high prevalence of PCOS-related traits in ancient records points to it being an ancient condition, not just a product of modern society, as some people believe. While PCOS causes difficulties for many women today, it may have helped our ancient ancestors survive and pass on their genes. Of course, this is speculation, but an interesting theory about the origins of this puzzling condition. PCOS has likely been with us for a very long time, not just in recent history. We owe it to our cave women sisters to continue advocating for better understanding and treatment of this multi-generational disorder. So why does it take years for so many women with PCOS to get diagnosed? Well, as someone with PCOS, the path to diagnosis was a frustrating one. I struggled years with irregular periods, acne, and painful cysts on my ovaries. When I finally got diagnosed, I was in my early 20s. I felt relief at having an explanation, but also annoyed at how long it took. Turns out I am not alone. There was an international study that found nearly 50% of women with PCOS see 3 or more doctors over 2 years before being diagnosed. Like me, many are frustrated with the lack of information on managing the condition. The most annoying part for me is how little doctors seem to understand the struggle of losing weight with PCOS. It's a vicious cycle. Excess weight can worsen symptoms, but the symptoms themselves make weight loss difficult. So most women with PCOS try many diets over the years with little success, which only adds to the frustration. Since PCOS seems to run in families, some women have a genetic predisposition to it. I suspect my mom and sister may have had milder forms of it. Research shows that sisters and mothers of PCOS patients often have higher androgen levels and are more likely to develop the condition themselves. Some scientists even theorize that prenatal androgen exposure could make future generations susceptible. The exact genes involved are still unknown. PCOS is considered a polygenic disorder, meaning multiple genes likely interact with lifestyle and environmental factors to cause the symptoms. So clearly PCOS is still not fully understood in the medical community and more research is desperately needed. But in the meantime, healthcare providers should show more empathy for the challenges of living with this condition. PCOS is difficult to diagnose, but fortunately, with the right combination of lifestyle changes and emotional support, we can minimize its impact on our health and quality of life. Overall, the biggest frustrations seem to come from a lack of understanding, so that the more we learn and share about PCOS, the better. I hope you enjoyed learning about PCOS through the ages from our ancient cave women ancestors who may have had some biological advantages from it, to genetic leaks that run in families, all the way to the long diagnostic delays modern women still face today. It's clear there's still so much to understand. One thing I know, we're not alone. Nearly 10% of women worldwide have PCOS, even if many don't know it yet. Knowing you're not the only one dealing with frustrating symptoms like unwanted hair growth or infertility can make a big difference. So reach out to your fellow PCOS sisters for support or to share your own experience, and don't give up hope. PCOS is highly treatable, especially with lifestyle changes. Our cave women ancestors made it through those harsh times without modern medicine on their side. So imagine what we can do today. This is not the end of the road. It's just the beginning of a journey to take back control of your health. If you're a woman with PCOS and you struggle with food cravings, I have a free online class where I teach you how to get rid of unhealthy food cravings for good without giving up your favorite foods, even if you've struggled with unhealthy food cravings for years. In the class, I teach you how to identify the root cause of your unhealthy food cravings and how to get rid of them for good. You'll also learn how to use my proven method to reduce and replace unhealthy food cravings so that you can get healthy again and lose weight quickly. So if you want to sign up for my free class on food cravings, the link to this class is in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you want to stay connected and see more videos on PCOS and nutrition and how to manage it with lifestyle habits. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thanks for watching.